Okay, I'm your poorly aged sarcastic PC witty gamer, and this game did not accept continuing the game, so I have to start a new character. I love starting new characters, so I'm not really complaining, but I would like to see the huge parts of this game I have not seen in the remaster, even though it's been out for months and months. I like starting the game more than I like finishing it anyway, and that's true of any role-playing game. But let's just start a new character and quit complaining. I am your poorly aged sarcastic PC witty gamer, and this is the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered. Start a new game? Well, yes, thank you for asking. When were you born?
Born 87 years ago.
That would explain all the wrinkles in
For
your face. For
65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor.
Really?
But for
And
all
worn
these years,
really strange
I've
clothes.
never been the ruler of my own dreams.
None of us really are. Don't worry about it. No
I
problem.
have seen the gates of Oblivion.
We all have for
beyond
19
which
years.
no waking eye may see.
Well, I've seen it with my waking eyes.
Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land.
No, Doom is a different Bethesda game. Don't do cross promotion there. Doom's a great game, but this is Oblivion Remastered.
This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433.
That's not what my Kindle says.
These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
How could you know that? Bethesda Game Studios prevents. I shut off the music. I don't know why it's still playing. The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered. Little screen tearing going on there, but we can live with it. Right here on your favorite YouTube channel, the poorly aging sarcastic PC witty gamer channel, where you're falling in love in stereo. Hey, no, back off. We're gonna get hit in the face. Ow. Is my nose bleeding? I don't know why they do that. Smashes right into the side of a wall. Okay, in Oblivion, you have 10 different species you can play and 2 different genders. They did not update the number of genders when the world moved on to more genders or anything. So I'm going to read these things. I think I'm going to have to change to just uploading stuff as soon as I shoot it, rather than waiting around to make it better or put it up at a more opportune time, because I've lost like 210 videos over the last week or so. So let's read these and then decide which ones to be. Argonian. This reptilian race, well suited for the treacherous swamps of its homeland, has developed natural immunities to poisons. They can breathe underwater and are good at picking locks. So nothing about picking noses or anything like that, but locks they can pick. I do like playing as Argonian, so just so you know, I haven't decided what kind of character to play yet. My last character was a blue-skinned orc. I don't have a lot of experience playing as an orc, that's why I was excited to do that, but now that save won't load anymore. So there's some Argonians that are from Arnesia and some from Thornmarsh. We are talking about Argonians, right? Yeah, okay. So if you're from Arnesia, you hail from Arnesia, where the slavers of Morrowind are still active. The hide and seek every time there was a raid. The hide and seek every time there was a raid made you extremely quick and nimble. I guess that's a complete sentence. It's kind of weird. Or you could be from Thornmarsh. Thornmarsh, your birth region, is called the Jewel of the East. But behind the nickname lies a darker reality. You dabbled in magic just to survive, and your wits, your quick wits, allowed you to live until this day. But you're in a prison, I mean, so you shouldn't be too proud about living to this day. And speaking of dark, my orc had just become a member of the Dark Brotherhood. And I wanted to go through the whole Dark Brotherhood quest line with you. Now I'll have to build up to all of that, if that's even going to happen. I was about 10 hours into the play. It was a beautiful play. We might do that again. Now again, I'm going to read through all of these, and then we'll decide together which one I should play. Breton. Now I almost never play a Breton, but I have played, just so you know, every species, and I've played every species with each gender, and I've tried different builds, like being a mage or a melee kind of guy, somebody with a sword and a shield, different things, thieves, stuff like that. In addition to their quick and perceptive grasp of spellcraft, even the humblest of Bretons can boast a resistance to magical energies. They are particularly skilled at summoning and healing Magi'ich. Now, they can be from Sistres or High Rock. Being from High Rock, you were raised in the homeland of the Bretons. Going through all the great cities of the province made you quick on your feet. Or you could be from Sistres. As a child, you were always spending time on the docks of one of the islands, gaining some money by helping merchants carry their goods, and learning from their adventures. Or you could be a dark elf. Also known as Dunmer in their homeland of Morrowind, the Dark Elves are noted for their skilled and balanced integration of the sword, the bow, and destructive Magi'ich. They are resistant to fire and can summon an ancestral ghost for aid. I'm usually, by the way, a Dunmer when I play this game, but again, I've played all of them. And one of the reasons is I've played the original Oblivion more than 7,000 hours just in Steam. So just on the PC in Steam. And I've also played it, the GOG version, which I think means Great Old Games. So I played the Steam version over 7,000 hours, and then the GOG version a few hundred hours. And I've played it on the Xbox 360 for a few hundred hours. And I'm not sure how many hours, because as far as I know, the GOG version and the Xbox 360 version don't tell you how many hours you've played. If you're from Vardenfell, you are a true child of Vardenfell. Amongst the volcanic wasteland, you were taught that resilience is the greatest of all Dunmer quality. Or you could be from the mainland. As a Dunmer on the mainland, you grew up amongst all kind of traders. You learned all there was to know about negotiations and how to make people react the way you need them to. I've almost never played a high elf, except just the few times to be a completionist. Also known as Altmer in their homeland of Somerset Isle. The high elves are exceptionally gifted in the arcane arts. They also boast resistance to illness. However, they are also somewhat vulnerable to fire, frost, and shock. If you're from Aridin, born on the island of Aridin, you were proud to live on the first island of the Somersets. There you spent countless hours swimming in the pristine waters. If you're from Somerset Isle, you grew up among the great towers of Alinor that nearly touch the sky. You spent countless hours climbing and navigating the sunlit streets of the Somerset capital. Sometimes I play Imperial, especially in Oblivion, because this is the native race to Cyrodiil now. So sometimes I play to the strengths of an area, like being a Nord when playing Skyrim, being a Dunmer when playing Morrowind, and sometimes I play against it. We'll talk about that more later. Imperial. Natives of the civilized cosmopolitan province of Cyrodill, they have proved that the poorly aging, sarcastic, PC witty gamer does not know how to read. Natives of the civilized cosmopolitan province of Cyrodill, they have proved to be shrewd diplomats and traders. I think that would be they have proven to be shrewd diplomats and traders. You people need to fix that. It shouldn't end in a D, it should end in an N. And this from a guy that can barely read it. They are skilled with heavy armor and in the social skills, and tend to favor the warrior classes. There's too many ands in that sentence as well. Lazy writing. Nibene. You are a true Imperial, born into the heart of the Empire. The number of cities and their size led you to travel hastily. Yeah, probably looking for more cities. There's not that many cities in this game. Or you could be from Calovia. Calovia inhabitants, such as yourself, are known for their autonomy, including toward the rest of the Empire. You're inherited the willfulness of your forebears. You're inherited? I think that should be you inherited the willfulness of your forebears. But as you can clearly see here on the screen, it says you're inherited the willfulness of your forebears, which doesn't make sense in English or Cyrodiilic. I often play as a Khajiit, hailing from the province of Elsewhere. They are intelligent, quick, and agile. They make excellent thieves due to their natural agility and unmatched acrobatic skill. All Khajiit can see in the dark. By the way, In the Dark, great album by the Grateful Dead. I'm not saying it's their greatest because there was American Beauty much earlier on in their career, but towards the end of their career, In the Dark, it gave them their first top 10 single, which was Touch of Grey. And the whole album, it just feels good together. Black Muddy Water, Tons of Steel. It's a very good album from later on in their career. Now, I've noticed, by the way, that the descriptions up top are in the third person. But these descriptions down here are directed right at you. So up top, it just talks about them without directing the words at you. But down here, it's directed right at you. More. In fact, it uses the word you a lot more, telling you what you're like. Where up above, it's just telling you what the particular race is like without saying you're like that. Anaquina. The harsh region where you lived and trained hardened your body and taught you how to defend yourself with your bare fists or any weapon you could find. Now, really, I don't think Khajiit use their fists so much as using their claws. That's why they generally get a boost to their hand-to-hand skill as they use their claws to do damage. Or you could be a Palatine Khajiit. Your parents lived in Palatine, and your childhood memories are filled playing and running around the jungles or on the pristine beaches. Nord. Citizens of Skyrim. They are a tall and fair-haired people, strong and hardy. Nords are famous for their resistance to cold. They are highly talented warriors. Now, if you're from Western Skyrim, you've lived in the west of Skyrim, a rugged environment, filled with rough terrain and dangerous beasts. You are prepared to survive in even the most challenging climates, like maybe a jail cell. or you could be Eastern. Either due to extreme snowstorms, the College of Mages, or simply stubbornness, the people of Eastern Skyrim, such as you, are known for their tenacity and resourcefulness. Now, I know some people are going to say mages. Well, I'm telling you here on the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel, the pronunciation is mages. And I know some people in this game are going to mispronounce it and say mages. Well, they're just wrong. Now, our last guy that we did, he was an orc. He was a big, bulky orc with beautiful blue skin and purple hair. He was wonderful. You can go back and see some of those videos. You just can't see the last 6 hours that I shot with him. The people of the Rothgarian and Dragontail Mountains, orcish armorers are prized for their craftsmanship. Orc troops in heavy armor are among the finest in the Empire, and are fearsome when using their berserker rage. Now, if you're from the stronghold, your fate was decided when you were born. So was your fate, by the way, because sometimes people add an E or take an E away. As a member of a stronghold, you would serve your chieftain with honor and would make the orcs proud. Your charisma and resilience were honed for when you serve. Or you could be from Orsinium. You are proud to have been raised in Orsinium, where you trained to be as versatile a warrior as possible. As such, you are better with magie than most other orcs. I think the last time I was an orc from Orsinium, because I did use magic. I don't think of orcs as the Magi kind of guys. I think of them as, the sort of person that carries a big two-headed axe and just bashes the skulls of their opponents. But as you can see, there is some affinity to Magi if you're an orc from Orsinium. So we will give that some consideration. Redguard, the most naturally talented warriors in Tamriel. In addition to their cultural affinities for many weapon and armor styles, they also have a hardy constitution and a natural resistance to disease and poison. So see, I didn't even know if there was a constitution in Cyrodill. I mean, there's a king. Well, I shouldn't say a king. There's an emperor and all of that. I just never thought of them being ruled by a constitution. So that's interesting. Now, obviously, if you're Redguard, you might be from the Alakir Desert or the Dragontail Mountains. As a child, in the sands of the Alakir Desert, your education revolved around martial might. You are a prime example of why Redguards are the best warriors. Your uprising, under the shadow of the mountain peaks, was a happy one. Immersed in Redguard customs, you developed charm, wit, and the ability to turn a conversation around. That does sound like me. I might like to do that. The problem is, as you can see, Redguards pretty much look like black people. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube or with anybody watching this or with any subscribers or potential subscribers, but I like to have blue-skinned characters. So I just wonder if I'd get in trouble if I changed a Redguard to have blue skin, or if I could even do that in this game. And if I didn't, I would make him blacker. Because when I play a black character, I want them to be very black. As you've probably seen, if you've watched my wrestling videos, you'll see that my black wrestlers have the blackest skin possible. I like extremes, I'll admit that. And our last race that we would consider would be Wood Elf. The clan folk of the western Valenwood Forest, also known as Bosmer. Wood elves are nimble and quick, making them good scouts and thieves, and there are no finer archers in all of Tamriel. Their ability to command simple creatures is well known. Now, you could be a Bosmer from Grathwood or from Reacher's March. If you're from Grantwood, you spent your childhood in Grantwood. Really. Near the region devastated by Molag Bal. The foul energies still linger there, and your resilience grew amidst the danger. Reaper's March. The border region that saw you grow is plagued by anger and resentment after centuries of war. You quickly learn how to soothe people and avoid unnecessary conflicts. Now, I want to say one thing. We've spent 21 minutes going over the preliminaries, and now we're going to choose a race or a species. Almost nobody in these games ever even seems to notice. So, like, if you play an orc and you meet another orc, he's not more likely to be nice to you. In the Dark Brotherhood quest line, there are people that are just really nasty to you, even though they're fellow Dark Brotherhood members, and they don't seem to treat you differently based on race. I would like, in these games, for them to recognize your race and treat you differently based on that. I'm not a fan of racism or anything like that, so don't write me terrible letters or, But I'm just saying, in the lore, the Dunmer held the Argonians as slaves for hundreds of years. It's hard to believe everybody would just get over that in an instant and everybody would like each other. When it comes down to marriage, you can marry people of different species. And while I think that would happen in real life if this was the real world here, I don't think it would happen all the time, because mostly people tend to marry people that are most like them. Chinese people marry Chinese people, Japanese people marry Japanese people, white people marry white people, black people marry black people, Indians marry Indians, all of that. But there's obviously nothing wrong with the white man that marries a black woman, or the white woman that marries a Mexican man, or anything like that. I'm certainly not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying that's rarer than what happens in the rest of the population. And it would be nice if Bethesda could actually make a game that reflects that. But in their games, pretty much anybody can marry anybody unless they're an enemy, but none of it's based on race. And nobody treats you differently based on your race in any of these games, which is sad. I think it would feel more real and more lived in, like a real world, if they did. Now, one thing that happens is right after you choose a race, somebody shows up in a game to acknowledge that. So whatever race I choose, the guy in the cell across the way is going to mention the race I chose, which gives you the false impression that everybody's going to know your race and all of that throughout the game, but you'll notice they don't. So like when the guards come and the emperor's there, he doesn't seem to know whether you're a human or not or anything like that. Nobody seems to know in the rest of the game. This happens in Skyrim as well. In Skyrim, as soon as you choose your race, they make comments. We'll return your body to Morrowind. They'll tell you if you're going to be a Dunmer or whatever. They make a comment based on your race, but then nobody does in the whole rest of the game. Almost nobody. So anyway, we need to choose a race. Yeah, all these choices are good. So I'm going to go with... Dunmer, a mainland Dunmer. He's going to be young with dark skin tone. We're still going to change that, by the way. And these body types are male and female. And they have different heights based on that. Now I got to change his skin back to. And here is where I can actually make a skin tone I like. Now, anybody who says, well, but their skin isn't really blue in the lore, well, so what? It's a role-playing game. I'm doing what I want with them. Unfortunately, when you have blue skin, almost all the eyes look really creepy, and I want my eyes to look natural. I don't know if there's a way to make my eyes look natural. So at some point, I just get tired of trying. He's going to want hair. Okay. Now, this game just doesn't have as many hairstyles as I would like. And none of them seem that earth-shattering. Like, you would think on another planet they could come up with hair that hasn't been seen on Earth, hairstyles that haven't been seen on Earth. But they don't seem to have. I'm going to give the guy a mustache. That's a little thick for my liking, but I don't see any that actually suit what I want. So we're probably going to have to go with that. Let's see, that's too thin. That's too silly. So we'll probably just go with this and pretend it's what we wanted. Now, even though we gave this guy beautiful blue skin, beautiful purple hair, and a beautiful background and everything like that, and we've offered to run his life, to help him have success in this world and everything, it's not enough for him. No, he wants a name as well. And I will pick a name for him that will reflect what his role is in our game. And his role in our game is to show you The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered in stereo. So he's going to be called YouTube Dunmer Dude. Then I'll show you some of the things I do at the beginning of a game, and then our game itself, here at the 30-minute mark, will begin. So here I open this up, and I put heal minor wounds under 5. Because I want to know where I can get at things right away. You know, on the fly, when I'm in the middle of trouble, I don't want to have to open up my inventory and look for my spells and everything. So I generally have a fire spell under the 6 key, a projectile spell, something I throw at people, under the 3 key, my healing spell under the 5 key, a light spell under the one, things like that. And I'm an old man, so I have to do the same thing pretty much all the time. If I don't, I will forget, and we'll all miss out. Now, I might as well show that a few of the anomalies in the original are still here. So let's hit our 5 key. And then just start throwing healing spells, even though we're not the least bit damaged. Now, as you see, our restoration increased. In Oblivion, you gain experience in things by using them, which makes perfect sense. But what doesn't make sense is we just obtained a level up in restoration when we didn't have any need for restoration. So we just threw the restoration spell when we didn't need it, and yet we got credit for that. So this seems to work for everything. So for instance, in some Bethesda games, you don't get credit for your sneak skill, for instance, if you're not sneaking past somebody. If you're just out in the wilderness sneaking around, it doesn't add to your sneak until you start sneaking past guards or sneaking past an animal that might want to killify you or something. But here, we could literally stay here for hours and cast the restoration skill and build up our restoration all the way to 100. And maybe beyond. I don't know if we could do it beyond, because I put in some mods to unlock skills over 100. I haven't tested them to see how the game handles that yet. So I do have mods in. I should mention that. I have mods in. I don't have any cheat mods in. I have one mod you might think is a cheat mod, and that's a mod that lets me carry a lot more stuff than I usually do, than I usually could in the vanilla game. All the other mods are mods to add depth to the game, make it more interesting, change aspects of it. None of it to make it easier. In fact, some of it I put in specifically to make it harder. A good example is in vanilla Oblivion, I felt like leveling up was just too easy. I felt like every time I sneezed, I was leveling up. The first time I blocked a blow from a sword, I leveled up. I thought that was unrealistic. So I've put a mod in here that makes leveling up take much, much longer. And I'm okay with that. So people that brag, you know, I'm at level such and such now. Okay, cool. I'm not doing that. I'm not bragging about my levels. And I couldn't brag about my levels because my levels, I'm getting much slower than other people because I did that on purpose. Yeah, again, I'm not going to do this restoration thing forever. I just wanted to show it to you. When we walk towards the bars, the guy across the way is going to start mocking us. And that'll start the other aspects of the real game. By the way, this is not a speed run. I hope you realize that. If you tuned in for a speed run, this is not it. This is a sarcastic playthrough. I'm going to show you what the game is really like. The plus, the minuses, the ups, the downs. If I make a mistake in my playthrough, you're going to see my mistake. If I die in the playthrough, you will see my character die. It's all of it. I don't edit out anything unless YouTube says I can't have it in there. Now let's go towards the
Hey
thing.
there, you, kinsman. I haven't seen another Dunmer in here, and I don't know how long.
See, he
Where you
mentions
from,
I'm a Dunmer.
Vardenfell?
No,
You got a wife back home?
I do.
Tell you what, I'm getting out of here in a couple of weeks. When I get back to Morrowind, I'll look her up.
Well, you don't know who I am,
Be so lonely.
so you don't know who she would be.
Don't you worry, eh? I'll take care of her long after you're dead. Oh, that's right. You're going to die in here.
Now, I don't know how he would know
Hey,
that.
You hear that?
No,
The
you haven't
guards
heard
are
anything.
coming.
There's
For
been no
you.
sound. So there was no sound before he said that.
My sons, they're dead, aren't they?
Now, see, he asks if his sons are dead.
Only said they were attacked.
No, they're dead.
He's sure they're dead, even after he asked whether
What's
they
this
were
prisoner
dead.
doing here? This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
The watch
Never
usually
mind.
missed
Get
his
that
up.
gate open.
What is it, DEI
Stand back,
hired?
prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
No sign of pursuit, sir.
Affirmative
Stay put,
action?
prisoner.
Let's go. We're not out of this yet.
Yeah, we just
You.
started.
I've seen you.
No, that's impossible.
Let me see your face. You
Okay.
are the one from my dreams.
Then you have odd
And the
dreams.
stars were right.
The stars?
This is the day.
This is the
Gods
day.
give
This
me
is the day.
strength.
There's only one God. Who are you? I mean, you look really strange. First of all, you're in a dungeon. If you're in charge of this dungeon, if you're the warden, first of all, that's no way to dress in a prison. But second of all, I'd like to issue a complaint. Not that I'm here in prison without having gotten a trial, a lawyer, anything like that, even though I heard the Red Guards live under a constitution, so apparently they get lawyers and trials and everything. But I don't even have a bucket to, do my business in here. There's no toilet or anything. There's no bed in here. I mean, couldn't you torture me a little more humanely? What's going on?
Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next.
Lucky
my
you!
blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads through your cell.
Now, I want everybody to remember he just said it's by chance that the secret escape route leads through my cell. That's very, very important, because in a minute he's going to say it's not by chance. Why am I in Yael?
Perhaps the gods have placed you here so that we may meet.
So it's not by
As
chance?
for what you have done, it does not matter. That is not what you will be remembered for.
Don't end sentences and prepositions. And by the way, there's every chance that I'm perfectly innocent. You may not know this guy dressed in women's jackets and things like that, but I didn't get a lawyer or a trial, so I'm probably completely innocent. I'm probably a very good guy. By the way, are you the warden? I mean, who are you?
I am your emperor, Uriel Septim. By the grace of the gods,
There's only one god.
serve Tamriel as her ruler. You are a citizen of Tamriel, and you too shall serve her in your own way.
This is how you treat citizens? Locking them up without a trial? Without a lawyer? I'll go my own way if I ever get out of here, which I doubt.
So do we all. But what path can be avoided whose end is fixed by the almighty gods?
There's only one
Please,
God.
sir, we must
We've
keep
been over
moving.
this.
Better not close this one. There's no way to open it from the other side.
Well, that would have been handy
Looks like
to
this is your
know.
lucky day.
Like back
Just
when I
stay
needed
out
to
of
go
our
to the
way.
bathroom or anything like that. the door, the whole wall moves. Nobody seems upset that the prisoner is gone. Now, when these guys attack, you'll notice they're in heavy armor, and the heavy armor disappears when they die.
Close up left. Protect the Emperor.
Oops, wrong button. See the heavy armor?
The captain's down. Emma! You thought we'd go down easy?
Are you all right, sire? We're clear for now.
Captain Reno?
She's dead. Sorry, sire, but we have to keep moving.
They don't seem very upset by it. And it says she's wearing Blades armor. A Blades cuirass. Okay, so
They'd be waiting for us here.
I'm glad she's
Don't
wearing
know, but it's too late
underwear
to go back
because
now.
this is a G-rated
Don't worry,
channel. Now,
They won't be the first to underestimate the Blades.
Blades. This is another weird thing about this game. For a great portion of the main quest, they act like it's a huge mystery as to who is trying to kill the Emperor and all of that. I think this should be our first clue. They're wearing Mythic Dawn hoods and Mythic Dawn robes. So I think we should at least consider that the Mythic Dawn might be involved. Now, you could say, well, maybe the Mythic Dawn is being set up by somebody else. Yeah, that's a possibility, but I don't think we should just dismiss out of hand that it could be the Mythic Dawn, or that we should be completely in the dark about who's behind all of this. I mean, here are 1, 2, 3, 4 people that tried to assassinate the Emperor. They're all wearing the same uniform. So it's either a member of the Mythic Dawn trying to kill him, or it's somebody that wants us to think a member of the Mythic Dawn's trying to assassinate him. So I think that's where we should start. To me, presenting it as a mystery is silly because we have so much evidence. By the way, this game looks terrific. If you haven't had it since 2006, you just don't know how much they improved the look of the game. If you have a lockpick, you can try to pick most locks. You don't even have to have a lockpick to pick your nose. Your finger, it's a nose pick. To move the lockpick from slot to slot, press A, D. Press W to move your mouse up, to move the pick upward into a tumbler. When the tumbler reaches the top of the lock, you will hear a metallic sound. Press space to secure it in place. When all tumblers are secure at the top, the lock will open. Or you can just hit the R button. It will automatically attempt to open it. In my experience, it opens it nearly every single time, as it did there. Now it wants me to equip the arrows. I want to show the details of this first. Okay, that's heavy armor. And I don't generally wear heavy armor. That's why I was checking to see what it was before putting it on. And then it wanted me to test my archery. In most games, if you were to just click on the bow, it would know to use arrows with it. Or if you were to click on an arrow, it would know to use a bow with it. This game doesn't do that, so you have to click both the bow and the arrows. I'm mad at that bucket, so I'm going to test it on the bucket. The bucket is now dead. I will explain some other things about archery later on when I am picking. I think it's my class or whatever type of person I'm going to be in this game. You open the door with iron key. So I must have gotten the iron key off of somebody's body. Now practice casting spells. I just did that. Everybody saw me do that. They seem to have these things so that you could, so one of the first chests we saw was a chest that, who is that?
To arms! To arms! What? You die!
I have never seen a bandit bowman there before. That's why I didn't know who it was. So that first chest we had light armor in it, and this other one had heavy armor in it. It seems like the tutorial is helping us to get whatever first set of armor we're going to wear in the game, and we can choose light or heavy armor. So I've honestly never seen any enemies other than assassins, that zombie there, goblins, and rats in the tutorial. And it is the tutorial until we get out of this first dungeon. Another benefit to not having music is you can hear things better. Like, most animals make sounds in this game. Those sounds just made by a rat, we probably would not have heard if the music was blasting. I want to be clear, there's some controversy about the guy who created the soundtrack or composed the music for Oblivion. I don't know anything about that controversy. And so the choice not to include the soundtrack music in this playthrough had nothing to do with virtue signaling and wanting to, you know, stand up for the right side of that controversy or anything. No, it was simply, I have uploaded videos before that were not music videos, but they had music in the background, or like the music they play, you know, when the wrestler walks out. And YouTube has sometimes restricted those videos so that they couldn't be seen in certain territories, or in extreme cases, without taking the video down, they restricted it in all countries so that nobody could see them at all. In all of those cases, I had the rights to put those videos up with that music in it. And I just learned it's usually not worth it to fight YouTube about YouTube's policies. I want to be on their platform. I just have to do my absolute best to follow their rules to be on their platform. Fighting them when they're giving me a place to put up my videos doesn't make sense to me. If they decided tomorrow that I can't be on their platform, they would be perfectly within their rights. I hope they don't do that. I'd rather be on YouTube than not be on YouTube, but I'm just saying it's their platform, not mine. They can make their own rules. And I believe they're being inconsistent with how they enforce their rules, both for me and for many other people. But in the end, it's their platform. They're going to do it however they like, whether consistently or not. I am basically a beggar here because I don't have the space on the internet to put up hundreds and hundreds of videos like I've done on this channel. And even if I did, I wouldn't have the publicity to get people to come watch them. So I'm very grateful to YouTube, and I do my best to follow their rules. Just like if I go to somebody's house, if they have a strange rule, I don't argue against a strange rule. I'm either going to keep the rules of their house because it is their house, or I'm going to leave their house and not be in their house. That's the way I see it. And I expect the same out of people who come to my house. Wow, this is getting way too serious for something called the poorly aging sarcastic PC witty gamer. It wants me to make a potion, so I'm looking for my mortal and pestle. Combine ingredients with similar effects to create potions and poisons. Your alchemy skill will make your creations more powerful. The more potions you create, the higher your alchemy skill will increase. Use additional apparatuses to improve the strength of the potions you create. I'm too old to remember how all of these things interact with each other, so I just randomly check to see which potions I can make by randomly. I just randomly put ingredients together and see what's works. As you can see, you can name your potions and poisons. This one, because it damages health on self, I'm going to call it Ouch. There's a song that goes with it. Ouch, you're breaking my heart. Ouch, we're falling apart. Ouch, ouch. Now, see, that combination doesn't make anything. So now I can remove one of the ingredients and see if I can come up with. Now this one restores fatigue on self. So we will call it, we're not going to call it Red Bull because that's trademarked. So we'll call it Red Shoal, which wouldn't mean anything if you didn't get the the background that I just gave you. So we made our first poisons. There's our red shoal. Now what I usually do with these, because I like to have a good mercantile skill and all that, is I just sell these off. Unless I make something that I really want to use, my point is I don't just make stuff that I know I'm going to use. I generally am going to sell off all the potions and poisons I make. I sure am looking good though. Don't you think? With the blue skin and the purple mustache and the brown leather armor, I think I'm just rocking it. Anyway, up here is the ouch. It's only worth 3 gold. Remember, when my alchemy skill is better, it'd be worth more. Tracking your mail. This is from a mod I put in that, among other things, puts mailboxes in town so that you can send things from town to town. That's not the actual purpose of the mod, it's just one of the benefits of the mod. Remember, the mods I have in are not cheap mods. There are cheap mods out there, and I don't think anybody should feel bad about using mods to cheat a game if they're playing it themselves, a single player game. I would say if you cheat a single player game, you're probably going to miss out on some things, some of the experience that you would have had if you didn't cheat. But I'm just saying, it's nobody's business if you choose to cheat at a game where you're not gambling and you're not playing against somebody. It really bugs me when game companies require you to use anti-cheat systems for games that are not against anybody. Like right now, my Madden 26 is not working. And I suspect the problem is one of their anti-cheat systems. And I've never ever played Madden 26 against somebody else. So they've put something into a game I spent a lot of money on, something that's preventing me from getting my money's worth, to prevent me from doing something I would never do, which is cheat, and to prevent me from cheating in games against other people when I don't even play games against other people. Yes, I do talk about other games at times. And I'll tell you why. This isn't a Bethesda channel. My YouTube channel is not owned by Bethesda. And it's not a Madden channel. Electronic Arts does not own my YouTube channel. I just play PC games on it. And so I want to remind people that there is a wide variety of PC games. And PC gaming videos on my channel. So there's role-playing games like this. There's online games There's fishing games. There's basketball games, football, soccer. Just all kinds of different games because there's all kinds of different gaming experiences to be had on the PC. In case you've never played this game before, I've definitely done the tutorial in around 10 minutes. Right now, I'm not doing a speed run. I'm explaining things, having a good time, sitting back, enjoying it, looking around, seeing what they added, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, we're over an hour into the tutorial. And although we are near the end of the tutorial, we're certainly not at the end of the tutorial.
Until help arrives.
Help? What makes you think help will get here before more of those battles?
Here they come again.
We need to get the Emperor out of
Here they come again, just when we've begun to get our life together. 5, the Emperor.
I think that was all of them. Let me take a look around.
Okay.
Have you seen the prisoner?
I'm doing this because in the regular game,
Not yet. Let me rest a moment longer.
I've never gone and escaped that tussle that they just had. And so I wanted to see what happens when I do that. Now in the remastered version, I have done this.
Let me rest a moment longer.
Yeah, he's waiting for me to go to catch up so that we can have some dialogue and things like that. So I will go to him. But and I don't know if this dialogue they're having was available in the game 19 years ago or not, because I don't remember ever trying it. But that's why he's asking to
Prisoner
rest.
again. Kill him. He.
Yeah, kill me. Go ahead.
No,
It'll
he
make
is not one of them.
it would make a shorter
He can
game
help
too.
us. He must help us.
As you wish, sire.
I'm making him come to me.
They cannot understand why I trust you.
Well,
They've
don't
not
tell them.
seen what I've seen.
Hey,
How
you
can
promise
they
not to
explain?
tell.
Listen, you know the 9, how they guide our fates with an invisible hand.
We've been over this. There's only one God. Maybe the reason you're so paranoid and thinking you're gonna die tonight or something like that is because you're an idolater. You're trusting in a bunch of false gods. I'm not on good terms with your idolatrous gods.
I've served the 9 all my days, and I chart my course by the cycles of the heavens.
That's
the
a bad
skies
idea.
are marked with numberless sparks, each a fire, and every one a sign.
Numberless
I know these
sparks?
stars well, and I wonder which sign marked your birth.
Well, this is a stupid question. First of all, he's asking me. Well, I guess he's asking which one marked my birth, which is different than saying which one do I want to be born under. But it does ask later on, are you sure you want to be born under this sign? Like I could go back in time to my birth and decide when it should be. But he also mentioned numberless Spocks. The truth is there's only 2 Spocks. There was Leonard Nimoy, the Spock in the original series. And then in the reboot, there was that guy, I could see his face, but I can't remember his name. And I'm not trying to put him down because he played Spock very well, which I think was probably challenging for him because Leonard Nimoy was such an icon and he played Spock so well and was the only Spock anybody ever knew. And so there was that other guy that played Spock. But this Emperor, he sounds a lot like the captain, but not from the first Star Trek. series. He sounds like the captain from the second one, but that captain had no hair, so it can't be the same guy. This guy has hair. It's gray and old and crusty and stuff, but he's got hair, so he can't be the same guy. Let's go through these birth signs. The warrior. Those born under the sign of the warrior benefit from increased strength and endurance. Fortify endurance increases endurance by 10. Count them, 10 points. Fortify strength increases strength by 10 points. That's if I wanted to be the warrior. I could choose the mage. Those born under the sign of the mage have increased amount of Majaicha. Fortify Majaicha increases Majaicha by 50. Count them, 50 points. That would be if I wanted to be born under the sign of the mage. The thief. Those born under the sign of the thief benefit from increased agility, speed, and rots of rock. Fortify agility increases agility by 10. Count them, 10 points. Fortify rock increases rock by 10 points. Fortify speed increases speed by 10 points. Those born under the sign of the steed can move faster. Fortified speed increases movement speed by 20. Count them, 20 points. Those born under the sign of the apprentice have an increased amount of Majaicha, but are also more susceptible to Majaicha attacks. Fortify Majaicha increases Majaicha by 100 points. Weakness to Majaic increases susceptibility to Majaic by 100%. And also, if you're the apprentice, you have a 90% chance of Donald Trump saying to you, "You're fired." Although he says it better than I say it. Those born under the sign of the shadow can become invisible. Moon shadow, which is a greater power, grants invisibility for 60 seconds. Can be used once per day. That's why I don't like the shadow. It doesn't have any benefit to you except for 60 seconds per day. So that's, I have tried all these out, don't get me wrong, but that's why I don't keep going back to shadow, even though, back to the thief, even though I'm constantly working on my sneak skills. 60 seconds a day, it's nothing. Those born under the sign of the ritual can heal themselves and make the undead flee in horror. Blessed word focuses the undead to flee in horror for 30 seconds. Can be used multiple times per day at a cost of 40 Majaicha points per cost. Mara's gift is a greater power. It restores 200 points of health, but it can only be used once a day. So the only one that can be used under the ritual again and again in a single day would be Blessed Word, but it focuses the undead to flee in horror for 30 seconds at the cost of 40 Majaicha points. So that's not too bad, but we're not always fighting the undead. So it doesn't make everybody flee, just the undead. Those born under the sign of the Atronach cannot regenerate Majaicha, but have the ability to absorb any Majaic cast at them. Fortify Majaicha increases Majaicha by 150 points. Spell absorption, 50% chance of absorbing spells cast at them. Stunted Majaicha regeneration is halted. That's why I never do that one. It just seems like I'd be too vulnerable not being able to cast healing spells, for instance. Those born under the sign of the tower can magically unlock doors and reflect damage from their attackers. Now that sounds good until you find out the tower key opens locks of average difficulty. Can be used once a day. So once a day you can open an average difficulty lock with this power. See, up there it said Those born under the sign of the tower can magically unlock doors. It didn't say average doors. So it turns out you can open locks of average difficulty, and you can only do it once a day. Tower Warden, which is the greater power, reflects 5% of all incoming damage for 120 seconds, but it can only be used once a day. So to me, that's just too limiting. Those born under the sign of the Lord are more resistant to physical and magic damage. Shield increases armor rating by 15. Count them, 15. Resist magic increases magic resistance by 15%. Those born under the sign of the Lady benefit from increased willpower and endurance. Fortify willpower increases willpower by 10, count them, 10 points. Fortify endurance increases endurance by 10, count of 10 points. Those born under the sign of the Lover can paralyze others. Lover's Kiss is a greater power. It paralyzes the target for 10 seconds and reduces the caster's fatigue by 120 points, but it can only be used once per day. Those born under the sign of the Serpent can poison others, though it comes at the cost of damaging their own fatigue. Serpent Spell, which is a greater power, deals 3 points of damage for 20 seconds. It also cures poison, dispels 90 points, and damage fatigue 100 points to the caster. It also cures poison, dispels 90 points, and damage fatigue 100 points. That doesn't seem like a complete sentence. Anyway, it can only be used once a day. So if you've been listening, you probably figured out which birth sign I was born under. The Mage. And if you didn't figure that out, you could forgive yourself, because we haven't gotten to the class yet. When I choose my class, I think this will all make sense. Are you sure you want to be born under the following sign, the Mage? Now see, this is what I was talking about before. This is a completely ridiculous question. Because, let's say you buy into their worldview, that you have certain abilities, a certain focus based on which stars you were born under. Well, then you were born under those stars. I'm already born. When I was found in that prison cell, I was already a born person. Well, a Dunmer. Blue skin, purple hair, the whole bit. So to ask me whether I want to be born under that sign is ridiculous. I was born under whatever sign I was born under. Now, before Picard, the Emperor, asked me which sign I was born under. That makes sense. He's basically asking me my birth date. People ask you your birth date all the time. It makes sense to ask me what stars I was born under, given his worldview. But it doesn't make sense, given his worldview, to ask if I want to be born under any particular sign. I hope you'll got that.
The signs I read show the end of my path. My death,
What's a path?
a necessary end, will come when it will come.
Everything comes when it will come. What a stupid statement. My death will come when it will come. The newspaper will come when it will come. The year 2027 will come when it will come. Everything comes when it comes. Because if it doesn't come, then it wasn't going to come. So there would be no will come. So what you're saying is redundant and irrational. I think you're a senile old man. But what about me?
Your stars are not mine. Today the mage shall light your way on the paths of glory.
Can you see my fat?
My dreams grant me no opinions of success. Their compass ventures not beyond the doors of death. But in your face I behold the sun's companion. The dawn of Akatosh's bright glory may banish the coming darkness. With such hope, and with the promise of your aid, my heart must be satisfied.
I don't know what a hot is, but you notice he keeps talking about my face and everything like that. Not once has he acknowledged that I'm a Dunmer. He doesn't seem to know that I'm a Dunmer. He would have said those same things to me if I was an Imperial, a Red Guard, a Nord, a Reptile, an Argonian, a Khajiit, a Bosmer, any of these. And of course, in case you didn't notice, yeah, I said fat for fate. I do that just to be silly at times. I leave the E off. It makes it funnier. Or sometimes I will put a letter on the end of another word to change the meaning of it too. You'll see me do this now. Pay attention. Aren't you afraid to die?
No trophies of my triumphs precede me, but I have lived well, and my ghost shall rest easy. Men are but
that would
flesh
be
and
easily.
Blood. They know their doom, but not the hour. In
We've
this,
talked about this.
I am blessed to see the hour of my death, to face my apportioned fate, then fall.
I don't know why you think all of this stuff, but I have asked you not to talk about the video game Doom. That's a different series from Bethesda. I'm the only one that can cross-promote, because I'm doing it promoting other videos that are on this very channel. Because I can shoot videos of Doom, you can't. I hope you understand. Now, where are we going?
I go to my grave. A tongue shriller than all the music calls me. You shall follow me yet for a while. Then we must part.
Pot? I don't know how to pot.
You may as well make yourself useful. Here, carry this torch and stick close.
You look like you're stoned. What can you tell me about the Blades?
We're the Emperor's bodyguards. Our job is to get him out of situations like this. Although I admit, things are not going according to plan.
Okay. What can you tell me about Uriel Septim?
My job is to make sure the Emperor gets out of here alive, and I intend to do it.
Yeah, you didn't tell me anything about him. I hope you realize that. But at least you're wearing a helmet.
Stick close and let us do our job.
That would
You'll
be
be all right.
closely. I wish you people would learn how to use adverbs. It would just make our time together so much more pleasant.
For the blades! The Emperor's in danger!
See the guy in his heavy armor?
Fought mud crabs more fearsomely.
I don't want to hear about your
Show me
crab.
what you've got. The Emperor's in danger!
See, his heavy armor went away. He's just in robes now. And then they don't react to it afterwards. You know, people are murderously trying to kill him,
Prisoner,
and then
needs help.
they just ignore it afterwards. As soon as the situation's over.
Yeah!
The Emperor's in danger.
Burn the dragon fires! Ah!
Well, I'm having trouble with my computer. Give me a break. Okay. But see, they don't say something like, that was a close one, or I'm worried, or thank you for killing the guy who tried to kill me. None of it. But they're all in Mythic Dawn robes. I don't know why there would be any grand mystery about who is trying to kill the Empire.
Come with us. Your destiny is bound up with mine, and with the fate of Tamriel itself.
I'm
Hold
I'm
up.
coming with you. Don't
Like
worry.
this. Let me take a look.
Oh, Now, here, he's going to come to here and say that he can't get through.
Looks clear.
He's going to say he doesn't have a key to that. But I'm going to prove he does have a key to that. He's lying. Boris is involved in a conspiracy to kill the Emperor. He really is. Now watch him go over there.
Damn it! The gate is barred from the other side. A trap!
What about that side passage back there?
It's only a trap
Worth a
if
try.
you don't have a
Let's
key to
go.
that gate. But you have a key to that gate, Boris. Why don't you tell the Emperor that? By the way, there's 2 Emperors now. You see that? So this is what I mean. Not everything is as it appears. By the way, if I knew which mod was making there be 2 Emperors, I would certainly do something about it. I don't have 2 Emperors on purpose or anything. But Boris, let's go back here. It says it needs a key. Now, I want you to notice this. He complained that it was locked. He didn't tell us that he has a key. In a few minutes, he's going to give us a key to this very gate, which means he could have got the Emperor through this gate. So everything that happens to the Emperor by not going through this gate is Boris's fault. And as you see, a lot happens to the Emperor because he didn't get through this gate. So Boris is very, very responsible for everything that happens to the Emperor in this game. I'm not making up a conspiracy or anything like that. I'm saying if you just think about it, he is. Now, of course, nobody's attacking him, but if I go in here and then come back, they will attack. And there's the 2 Emperors.
Wait here, sire.
Wait here with the Emperor. Guard him with your life.
This one's mine. For the Emperor!
Now, I don't know why they're giving me orders. I don't work for the Blades.
For the blades!
And the Emperor! The dragon fire! My threat's more fearsome than you.
You're lucky I like
So
it.
all of this going on is Boris's fault. Because he could have got us through that gate.
Protect him for the blades and the Emperor!
Now, about this section,
Oblivion take you.
you could stay in here forever if you could survive. So like if you're using
For the blades! The dragon fire!
you know, recovery spells and things like that.
For the blades!
You could stay in here because these guys
You want to help? Get back and protect the Emperor.
will show up forever. As soon as one wave of them is gone, another wave shows up. So you could
If you want,
level up your skills easily enough just by staying in this section
thought we'd go down easy.
forever.
For the blades and the Emperor.
Now, for your sake,
You
I'm
wanna
not going to
help,
do
Get
that.
back and protect the Emperor.
And by the way, he'll keep saying that forever too. But you could stay here. I've done it before. Stayed here for 3 hours.
Oblivion take you. Die.
And so I would call
If
that.
you want to help, get back and protect the Emperor.
I never said I wanted to help, by the way.
Oblivion take you.
Take that!
And if you wanted to help,
You'll never take me down!
you would have taken the Emperor through that gate, so none of this would have happened.
If you want to help, die, you scum.
You're outmatched, Elf!
For the
What's
blades
the matter? Get
and
in!
the Emperor.
Oh, hey, somebody called me an elf.
This one's for the Emperor. If you want to help, get back and protect the Emperor. Oblivion take you.
I have literally done that before, though, to
This one. If you want to help, get back and protect the
prove the
Emperor.
theory.
My sword for the
I have stood out here for 3 hours, building up my skills and all that. Now you can clearly see 2 emperors. Boris is doing something strange here. But even without 2 emperors, so even in the vanilla game, there's something wrong. Because he has a key to that gate and he doesn't use it, and he knows he has a key to that gate, and all this nonsense is happening because he didn't let the Emperor through that gate. So, I don't think it's such a paranoid conspiracy to say that he's responsible for everything that happens to the Emperor. It's just deductive reasoning. But I would say, yeah, it's a bug in the game because you can get to 100 destruction or 100, in your combat skills and your restoration just by staying in that other section, as long as you can stay alive. And usually you can stay alive. Let's say you're using a sword, for instance. If you're using a sword and so you only use your Magiicha for restoration spells, you can stay alive for forever in there and build up your restoration and your sword skills. I don't remember what the sword skills are called, one-handed or two-handed or something, because I usually don't fight with a sword. But anyway, let's get on with the story.
I can go no further. You alone must stand against the Prince of Destruction and
What
his
about
mortal
your twin
servants.
here?
He must not have the Amulet of Kings. Take the amulet, give it to Joffrey. He alone knows where to find my last son. Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
I don't
Come
know
with
if I
us.
can.
Your destiny is bound up with mine and with the fate of Tamriel itself.
I don't know if I can shut all the flaws of Oblivion. By the way,
Stranger, you chose a bad day to take up the court.
That's not smart.
they make sure that you
No.
can't prevent
Carlos
the
said.
Emperor's murderer by freezing you up so that you can't protect him in that situation. But as you see, now there's a dead Emperor and an alive Emperor. So I don't know why everybody's... I mean, yeah, I'm worried about the Emperor's death too, but there's still one alive there. But again, this is Boris's fault. It's his fault. One, he's the Emperor's bodyguard, and he wasn't next to the Emperor when the Emperor got killed. Two, he could have gotten the Emperor through that gate with the key that he has. I'm going to prove it, because he's going to give me the key, and I'm going to open that gate with the key that he gives me. So he's directly responsible, and he knows he is, for the Emperor's death. So you can put together all your little conspiracy theories all you want. He's responsible for the Emperor's death.
We failed.
You failed.
I failed.
Yeah, you failed.
The Blades are sworn to protect the Emperor. Now he and all his heirs are dead.
Well, the other
The
Emperor's
amulet.
still alive.
Where's the Amulet of Kings? It wasn't on the Emperor's body.
Now, if this was a real role-playing game, I should be able to say I never saw it. And there should be consequences for that. But here, I'm only allowed to say the Emperor gave it to me, so that's what I'll say. But I'd rather say I never saw it, and then I could go pawn it somewhere, or something like that. The Emperor gave it to me.
Strange. He saw something in you. Trusted you. They say it's the dragon blood that flows through the veins of every septim.
No, that wasn't it.
They see more than lesser men. The Amulet of Kings is a sacred symbol of the Empire. Most people think of the red dragon crown, but that's just jewelry. The amulet has power. Only a true heir of the blood can wear it, they say. He must have given it to you
who's
for
they?
a reason. Did he say why?
Yeah, it was an engagement present. He wanted to marry me. Turns out, Jean-Luc Picard, the Emperor, the guy playing him, he's gay. Oh, by the way, he also said I must take it to Jeffrey.
Joffrey?
No,
He
Jeffrey.
said that? Why?
Jeffrey, not Joffrey. There's another hair.
Nothing I ever heard about. But Joffrey would be the one to know. He's the Grand Master of my order. Although you may not think so to meet him, he lives quietly as a monk at Waynon Priory, near the city of Coral.
In the city of Coral, challenging the eye. How do I get there?
First, you need to get out of here. Through that door must be the entrance to the sewers, past the locked gate. That's where we were heading. It's a secret way out of the Imperial City. Or it was supposed to be secret. Here, you'll need this key for the last door into the sewers.
Now, see, that's also the key to the gate. The locked gate he just talked about, and I'm going to prove it when I get to that gate. I'm going to prove that he wasn't just negligent, letting the Emperor die on his watch. He wasn't just negligent. He was involved. He may be a member of the Mythic Dawn, for all we know. But Boris was definitely involved, because he's giving me a key right now to that gate. If he had taken the Emperor through that gate, none of this nonsense would have happened. He didn't do it. He must have had a reason not to do it. The sewers?
There are rats and goblins down there. But from what I've seen of you, I'm guessing you're an experienced sorcerer. Am I right?
You are not right. You must now choose your class. The major skills of your class will start higher than your other skills and will be easier to increase. Now, one thing this game could use is when you make a custom class, it should be able to save it for future playthroughs, but it doesn't. So I'm going to create a custom class. I'm going to show you how to do it. This custom class, and I'll explain the custom class to you later, but it specializes in Magic. Its favored attributes are personality and luck. It favors destruction, restoration, light armor, mercantile, sneak, speechcraft, and armorer. Now, I am going to call this coward. So, what this is in most role-playing games, you're the hero. In medieval role-playing games, you generally have a shield and a sword, and you go there and, you stick people with the sword, and you do sword fighting, and have I said sword enough? You're a big hero, you've got big arms, and you do combat, melee combat. When I was an orc, carrying a big axe around to bash people's skulls in, things like that. A coward, however, keeps back and flings things at people. Might fling a fireball at somebody. A spell, in other words. And if he runs out of Magica, he'll shoot arrows at them while he waits for his Magica to replenish. He stays as far away from his opponents as possible. That's why he's called a coward. It doesn't mean he's not going to do heroic things. It just means he doesn't think of himself as a hero, and he isn't going to get in your face when he can avoid it. Create coward class? Well, yes. Thank you for asking. Now, it is stupid that it asks whether you want to continue with the coward class, because remember, I just told you, It doesn't save this class from playthrough to playthrough. The next time I start with a new character, if I want to be the coward class, I got to create the coward class all over again. Like I said, I wish they would save it permanently in my game files, but they don't. So why would I create the class if I don't actually want to continue and use it? So it's a stupid question here. Are you sure you want to select the class coward? This is even a stupider question because I already created it in this playthrough and I already told them yes, but they want me to tell them yes the third time.
I wasn't far off. In any case, rats and goblins won't give you any trouble.
After the sewers, and after I prove that you're responsible for the Emperor's death, because you had that key all along, then what?
You must get the amulet to Joffrey.
Jeffrey.
Take no chances, but proceed to Wayne Priory immediately. Got it?
I'm a little deaf in this ear.
Take it easy. You'll be fine. I know this is a lot to take in all at once. No one's more surprised than me that I'm sending an escaped prisoner off with the Amulet of Kings. But the Emperor trusted you for a reason, and I trust the Emperor. The Amulet of Kings must get to Joffrey at Wayne Priory. He'll know what to do with it. Joffrey should know how to find the heir the Emperor spoke of. The amulet must reach Emperor Uriel's heir so a new Emperor can be crowned.
Really, you should be arrested. You know this, right? I have the evidence now in my hand. I'm going to go unlock that gate. Everybody on YouTube is going to see that you're responsible for the Emperor's murder. You should turn yourself in. Owen. Yeah, I get it. Not a lot of witnesses, not a lot of people watch my videos yet. But someday this could go viral and millions of people could see this video and know about your culpability. So you should confess. I mean, if they have to beat a confession out of you, your body's going to hurt in your cold jail cell at night. And by the way, it makes no sense what you're saying. The Amulet of Kings is so important that the next emperor cannot be crowned without it. The whole empire is falling apart without it. And you're entrusting it to somebody you call an escaped prisoner. Again, I would like to remind you I was not found guilty of anything. I was not convicted. There was no trial, no lawyers, no judge, no jury, none of that. But you keep calling me an escaped prisoner. Doesn't it make more sense? I mean, the emperor's already dead. Doesn't it make more sense that you take the other emperor and go out of here? And that you accompany me to go see Jeffrey with the Amulet of Kings? I mean, I'm a stranger to you. What if I just pawn this stuff? What if I just pawn the Amulet Melakim? Or just walk out of Cyrodill. Maybe I go to Skyrim and do some adventures there or something. You really haven't thought this out. What will you do?
I'll stay here to guard the Emperor's body.
That's a
and
stupid
make sure
idea.
no one follows you. You'd better get moving. May Talos guide you. By the way, thanks for recovering Captain Renault's sword. I'll see that it is given a place of honor in the halls of the Blades.
Blades. You need to learn how to pronounce things.
Leave the Emperor in peace.
I don't even know if that's the real Emperor, but I guess I can go loot some bodies before I leave. By the way, those roaches, they added them. They're just visual, you can't interact with them, but I think it's interesting that they added roaches to a 19-year-old game. I would say that they didn't really need to do that. It's supposed to be a fantasy game. And so having things from my real life in it doesn't sell the fantasy, but okay, I think I have, no, there's another one. So again, if I had not gone back to where the emperors were, I could have stayed out here and slain the assassins would keep coming forever and ever, and I could have built up my skills and everything. Not that I wanted to, but just I want you to remember this door, because this is what caused all the problems. He got to this door, said he couldn't unlock it. The Emperor would have to go out the side place. Remember, the side place is where the Emperor was murdered. Well, one Emperor. This guy's still alive.
Us. Your destiny is bound up with mine, and with the fate of Tamriel itself.
Now, if this guy would walk anywhere, I'd come with him, but he doesn't actually walk anywhere. I think he's somehow a mistake. But anyway, I am going to prove what a lowlife scumbag Boris is. Are you ready? There's the gate. And to prove that it's the gate, look. These are the same bodies we just looted. If you still don't believe me, boom. I go right back here and there's Boris and the other Emperor.
You need to get out of here. There's no telling who will come first. The Blades or more assassins.
Who would they be trying to assassinate, since you're saying the Emperor's dead? I didn't know there was more stuff I could talk to him about. Tell me about the Blades.
My order is dedicated to the service of the Septim Emperors. We have failed in our duty to protect him.
Especially you, since you set him up to be killed. Tell me about Jeffrey.
He's the Grand Master of the Blades. As the eyes and ears of the Emperor, the Blades don't advertise themselves.
Blades.
We of the Imperial Bodyguard are the public face of the Blades.
Blades.
But most of my brothers serve the Emperor quietly, behind the scenes. You'll find Grand Master Joffrey at Wayne Priory, living as a simple monk.
Tell me about the amulet at Malakim.
The sacred symbol of the Empire. Only those of Septim blood can wear it, they say.
Can other people pawn it? Because you have, you know, entrusted it to me, a stranger. Now, I am a perfect stranger, meaning I look really good and all of that, but okay, you're not getting my jokes. I'll ask you about Uriel Septim again, but the last time I did, you didn't say anything about him.
May Talos guide his soul to Aetherius. Rest in peace, my lord.
Especially since you had him murdered. Tell me about Wayne and Priory.
A chapter house of the Order of Talos. A monastic order connected to the Blades. It's located on the Black Road just outside of Coral.
That's another problem with this game, by the way. Sometimes it pronounces CH as other times it doesn't seem to know whether to do it as sh or so, like in the Dark Brotherhood there's somebody named Ochiva, or is there? Because sometimes she's named Ochiva, sometimes she's called Ochiva, sometimes she's called Oshiva. And there's a place called Cheydinhal, starts with a CH. Sometimes it's called Cheydinhal, sometimes it's called Cheydinhal. They can't seem to know whether to do the ch sound or the sh sound. But Coral, they never call it Shoral. So they're very inconsistent with their use of CH in this. Anyway, I've proven that he's responsible for the death. Yeah, I thought you might be. That he's responsible for the death of the Emperor.
Come with us. Your destiny is bound up with mine, and with the fate of Tamriel itself.
Well, you can come with me, because I keep leaving and you keep not coming with me, so... Anyway. Now that I've proven to you about the gate, and you've seen the little roaches. We can continue on our journey. This is getting close to the longest time I've ever spent in the tutorial. Close. Now, in the original game, and when I say original, I mean the game that came out in 2006, but after the DLC came out, this is when all the DLC would pop into your face, you know. You've received a note, so-and-so's dead, you know, you've inherited this place. This thing's happened, that thing's happened, go take care of it and all that. We don't have that anymore, which is good. We do have the DLCs, don't get me wrong, are in this game. They just don't pop up in your face anymore like that. So, I think the game looks good and it plays good, and we are going to get through the tutorial in this video. Then I'll probably upload the video once we're through the tutorial, and then I think I might do more of the story of YouTube Dunmer dude, and then upload that second chapter as well. And I might put them together. I might have to look at YouTube's rules about that. Because for people who want epic stories, I like to do epic stories. So, I don't know yet. But it was also trying to create an epic story nobody would forget that kept me from getting the last 6-hour one online and caused y'all not to get it because of my computer troubles. And based on the last few days, I would say that YouTube has a harder problem receiving bigger, higher quality videos. Because I did try uploading that last video like 5 times or something. I heard a rat somewhere, but I don't see any rats. Okay. Now this is, when I go through this door, officially the end of the tutorial. So I got it done now there are other tutorial things in the game, don't get me wrong. So when something new comes up, the game tends to give you the what for on it. Like when we step through here, it's going to tell you that the quest marker is pointing towards Wayne Priory, but that you can go anywhere you want. So there's other tutorials in the game, but the tutorial, the main tutorial, the beginning tutorial is complete when we walk through this gate. So I'm going to put an end to this video here. And again, it will be uploaded to the U and the Tube. And, but it'll probably be married to the next video I shoot, because I'm going to shoot outside of this tutorial. In other words, once I get through this gate, I'll probably shoot another couple hours or something like that, release it separately, and then release those 2 parts together if YouTube allows it. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you like what's going on here, please consider subscribing. I think there's 63 or 64 subscribers right now, and I'm very grateful to the subscribers. I'm grateful to you, by the way, for watching. If you're watching, especially this far into a video, I want to thank you very much, sincerely. You can certainly leave non-threatening, non-profane comments below. You can share this link with your friends, your enemies, people on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, linked out, my space, somebody else's space, her space, his space. If you watch a video on my channel, well, on anybody's channel really, and then you watch another video on the same channel, that also tells YouTube that you're really engaged with it. They take all of these things that you do as clues as to which videos they should put in the queue, the suggestions for more people. So the more they test videos, when a video's uploaded, they test it with a few people. I don't know how many, but let's say they, you know, put the video in the queue of 10 people, for instance. If 3 of them go there, that's something. If one of those 3 people leaves a comment, well, they know that one person was engaged with it. If 3 people share links, they know that. So anything you could do would help. I've been doing this for about 6 months now. I expected the channel would grow in subscribers faster than this, but I'll take what I can get. I'm doing what I can. And hopefully you're having a great day. You're listening to the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer on YouTube's Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel, where you're falling in love in stereo. Yeah, that would have worked as a great outro if the software had cooperated with me.